Hey everyone, this is our recap of episodes 1 and 2 of Our Unwritten Seoul, a show filled with twin sisters trading lives, tough family struggles, and huge emotional surprises that'll pull you right in. In episode 1, we follow Miji, a bright and lively cleaner in Seoul who always feels outshined by her super smart twin sister Baee. This episode's got everything: a quirky strawberry farm, a clever lawyer with a mysterious past, and unexpected twists that'll keep you glued to the screen. Episode 2 dives even deeper, with more sister drama, tough choices, and moments that'll make your heart race. In this recap, we'll walk through all the big parts, starting with episode 1's sneaky childhood days when Miji and Mirai played tricks by swapping places to fool their family and friends, leading up to a shocking balcony scene that'll leave you frozen. We'll follow Miji as she searches for her own path, bumps into her old neighbor Lee Hosu, and uncover some hard truths about Mirai's life. Then, we'll tease episode 2's new challenges, where the twins face even bigger tests, and surprises that shake things up. So grab some tasty snacks, settle into your favorite spot, and let's break down these two incredible episodes together. Here we go with Our Unwritten Seoul episodes 1 and 2. The story kicks off with Miji's heartfelt narration about how she and her twin sister, Mirai, came to be named. Their parents had planned to call the firstborn Miji, meaning yet unknown, a name full of mystery. But a complicated, nerve-wracking delivery flipped everything upside down. The first twin, who struggled to survive those early moments, was given the name Mirai, meaning future, to bless her with hope and promise. Miji, the secondborn, was left with the name originally meant for her sister, a bittersweet twist. As little girls, the twins were so identical that even their closest relatives got confused. Only their wise father and sharp-eyed grandmother could reliably tell them apart with a glance. Tragically, after their father's untimely death, the sisters leaned on each other in a unique way. They began secretly swapping places to cover for each other's weaknesses. Mirai was clumsy and uninterested in sports, while Miji found schoolwork overwhelming and tough. Their clever ruse went unnoticed until a routine medical checkup exposed their trickery, much to their family's surprise. To prevent any more mix-ups, their family decided to cut Miji's hair short, giving her a distinct look from her twin. A practical but emotional change? As the years passed, Miji and Mirai grew into very different people. Mirai blossomed into a brilliant academic, acing exams and earning praise, while Miji found her strength on the sports field, running races with fiery determination. But her athletic dreams came crashing down during a critical race when she tripped, badly injuring her ankle, ending her career in a heartbreaking moment. Fast forward to the present, Miji, now 30, works as a cleaner in bustling Seoul, living in the long shadow of her successful sister. Despite her uncertain path and modest job, she stays cheerful, lively, and full of spirit, always finding a way to smile. Ready for a change, she quits her part-time school job and jumps at a chance to work at a strawberry farm, submitting a resume that's painfully sparse but honest. A local man vouches for her, highlighting her physical strength and past as a dedicated athlete, which catches attention. Meanwhile, we meet Lee Hosu, a sharp-witted lawyer who grew up across the street from the twins. He's back in their hometown for ancestral rights, a dutiful son reconnecting with his roots. Hosu's a master in the courtroom, using his uncanny lip-reading skills to outsmart opponents, though there's a hint he might have a hearing disability not fully confirmed yet. He runs into Miji, who's delivering homemade food from her mother to his, a small gesture of neighborly care. A flashback takes us back to their childhood, when Miji first met Hosu. He ignored her, and in her blunt, childish way, she rudely asked if he was deaf, a thoughtless jab that stung. After that, Hosu never spoke to her again, leaving her frustrated and puzzled both in and out of school. Ugh. Whispers back then suggested Hosu, a top student himself, might have dated Mirai, adding a layer of teenage drama. In the present, Hosu casually asks Miji about Mirai, which sparks irritation. She's tired of everyone fixating on her sister, especially since Mirai hasn't even returned her calls. Over at the strawberry farm, we meet Han Se-jin, a hardworking but teased farmer who only produced 3 measly boxes of strawberries last season. He blames the organic farming methods, shaking his head in frustration. While sifting through job applications, he notices Miji's thin resume but is intrigued by the locals' glowing endorsement of her athletic grit and strength, a rare find. We also learn Miji's been quietly devoted to caring for her grandmother, who suffered a debilitating stroke. This responsibility has kept her from chasing stable, long-term jobs, anchoring her to family duties. She calls Mirai, pleading with her to visit their ailing grandma, but Mirai, sitting alone in a sleek corporate office, seems cold and detached, brushing off the request. Later, Miji's mom reveals a surprising truth. Mirai's been the family's financial backbone, quietly covering hospital bills and caretaker costs. A silent sacrifice? Feeling stuck and restless, Miji finds an abandoned ball and starts kicking it around, venting her frustrations. In a clumsy moment, she accidentally hits Hosu's left ear. Oops! A flashback reveals why this matters. Hosu was in a devastating car accident years ago, which paralyzed the left side of his body and left him completely deaf in his left ear. A life-altering tragedy? Miji had learned about this through Mirai, long after her insensitive childhood remarks, making her feel guilty? In the present, she rushes to buy him an ice pack, and Hosu opens up about his condition, explaining he hears nothing on his left side. He also shares a memory of seeing Mirai in Seoul, sensing she was struggling beneath her polished exterior. He encourages Miji to reach out to her sister, believing only she can truly connect with Mirai in her time of need. A heartfelt nudge? The next day, Miji travels to Seoul with homemade side dishes for Mirai, hoping to bridge the gap. They meet at a cozy cafe, but Mirai makes a chilling comment about jumping from a third-floor window to escape her life, passing it off as a joke. Miji laughs nervously, but when she returns from the restroom, Mirai's gone, vanished without a word. Alarmed, Miji visits Mirai's office and learns she's been absent without notice, a red flag. Panic rising, she races to Mirai's apartment and finds her standing on her balcony, about to jump. In a desperate move, Miji grabs her and they both tumble to the ground, shaken but unharmed, thank goodness. Flashbacks reveal Mirai's been enduring cruel workplace bullying after defending a senior colleague who exposed their shady director. The senior was fired, and Mirai became the new target, a crushing betrayal? At the hospital, Mirai breaks down, confessing she feels utterly powerless, her confidence shattered. She puts Miji on a bus back home, insisting she's fine now, but Miji reflects on her name, yet unknown, which has always pushed her to act boldly when trouble looms. A flashback shows her impulsively standing up for Hosu against bullies as a kid, a spark of her fearless spirit. Trusting her instincts again, Miji jumps off the bus and races back to Mirai. In a wild, nostalgic idea, she suggests they swap lives like they did as children, a daring plan to shake things up. Whoa! The episode ends on this dramatic cliffhanger, leaving us wondering what's next. Episode 2 of Our Unwritten Seoul opens with a touching flashback, pulling us back to Hosu's younger days when he realizes Miji had no idea about his life-changing car accident, which left him paralyzed on his left side and completely deaf. In his left ear, a moment that softens his long-held frustration toward her. Eager to mend things, he walks over to the twins' house next door, carrying a small peace offering, hoping to clear the air. He finds Miji and Mirai fresh out of the bath, their hair wrapped in fluffy towels, hiding their usual telltale signs, Miji's short hair and Mirai's long locks. Yet, Hosu's sharp instincts kick in, and he instantly knows who's Miji and who's Mirai, a quietly impressive moment that shows how well he understands them. The story shifts to the present, where Miji, now fully disguised as her twin sister Mirai, steps nervously into Mirai's high-pressure corporate office in bustling Seoul, ready to tackle her sister's job. A few hours earlier, we see the twins pulling off their bold swap. Miji gets long hair extensions to match Mirai's polished look, while Mirai chops her hair short to mimic Miji's sporty style, though she skips bleaching it to keep the change quick and subtle. The next morning, Miji hurries to Mirai's workplace, her heart racing, only to discover the important meeting she was supposed to attend has already started without her. A stressful mix-up? Ignoring Mirai's careful advice to stay quiet and avoid drawing attention, Miji dives in with a confident take-charge attitude, surprising everyone in the room with her bold energy. Whoa! Meanwhile, Mirai, wanting to avoid their grandmother's house where someone might recognize her, decides to head to the strawberry farm instead, hoping to blend in as Miji, a clever but risky move. At the farm, Han Se-jin, the laid-back farmer, doesn't give her any real tasks, just shrugs and tells her to do whatever she wants until it's time to collect her daily pay, a frustratingly vague instruction. As days pass, the twins slowly adjust to living each other's lives, navigating new routines and challenges with determination. But trouble looms when Mirai's cunning director at the office offers Miji, still posing as Mirai, a shiny new project, making it sound like a big opportunity. Miji, eager to prove herself, accepts without hesitation, not realizing it's a sneaky trap. The task is to convince a stubborn elderly restaurant owner to sell her precious land to the company, and if Miji fails, she'll be blamed entirely. A high-stakes setup? When Miji visits the restaurant, the old lady greets her with anger, throwing a handful of salt at her the moment she mentions the contract, a harsh and startling rejection. Later, Miji uncovers the director's true plan. He wants to sabotage Mirai by setting her up to fail, hoping to push her out of the company for good, a cruel and calculated move. Determined not to give up, Miji keeps visiting the restaurant, trying every approach to win the old lady's trust, but her efforts fall flat, leaving her discouraged but not defeated. Elsewhere, Hosu grows increasingly unhappy with his job. As a lawyer, feeling weighed down by the moral compromises he's forced to make, a heavy burden on his conscience. He runs into Miji, disguised as Mirai, and convinces her to sit down for a talk, hoping to get insight into Mirai's recent struggles. Miji, thinking she might learn more about her sister's work troubles, agrees to meet, a smart, but tricky decision? They head to a lively bar, but the loud music overwhelms Hosu, making it hard for him to hear with his condition, so they relocate to the calm, scenic Han River, a much better spot. There, Miji finally eats a cup of instant ramen, a simple treat she'd dreamed of enjoying in Seoul back when she was a hopeful high school athlete, a bittersweet moment. A flashback takes us to those school days, showing young Miji and Hosu laughing together as they wrote a list of fun things to do in Seoul, dreams that were cut short when Miji's ankle injury ended her sports career, a poignant memory. During their riverside chat, Hosu asks if Mirai dropped a work case because of him, since he's been assigned as the external investigator, a potential conflict. Miji, still playing the role of Mirai, brushes off his worries, keeping her true identity hidden, a tense moment. At the strawberry farm, Mirai, posing as Miji, decides to clean out a dusty old shed to stay busy. But she accidentally throws away an old chair that turns out to be important, a big mistake. When Seijin finds out, he's visibly upset, scolding her for acting without instructions, a frustrating clash. Mirai fires back, calling him out for not giving her proper tasks and testing her unfairly, accusing him of bullying in a bold stand. As she rides away on a bicycle, still fuming, she loses her balance and falls, a clumsy and humbling moment. Later, the twins try to have an honest talk about their personal struggles, Miji's feelings of being overshadowed, Mirai's workplace pain, but their conversation falls apart, leaving them disconnected and sad. Mirai, still pretending to be Miji, visits their grandmother, who's recovering from a stroke. Grandma sees through the disguise right away, recognizing Mirai's true self and warmly praising her for coming home, a heartfelt but complicated reunion. Back at Hosu's workplace, he discovers his senior deliberately put him on Mirai's investigation case, knowing they were high. School classmates hoping to pressure Mirai into quitting, a shady and manipulative tactic. Hosu feels even more uneasy, hating how his job forces him to enable unfair actions, pushing him closer to a breaking point. The next day, Miji returns to the restaurant, pleading with the elderly owner to treat her like a person, not just a corporate worker, but the old lady throws another handful of salt, a stinging rejection. Just then, Hosu sends Miji a message, asking to meet again. They sit by the Han River, where Hosu opens up about wanting to quit his job, saying he can't keep pretending everything's okay when he sees injustice, echoing words Miji as Mirai had shared earlier, a powerful connection. Meanwhile, Mirai makes things right at the farm by returning the old chair to Seijin, along with a detailed report suggesting smart ways to boost strawberry production, proving she's been working hard despite his lack of guidance, an impressive move. Near the episode's end, Miji gets a surprising text from the restaurant owner asking to meet about the land contract, a spark of hope after so many setbacks. Overjoyed, Miji lets her guard down for just a moment, and Hosu catches a glimpse of her true self, realizing she's not Mirai but Miji, a jaw-dropping twist that ends the episode. That's our recap of our Unwritten Seoul episodes 1 and 2, and it's been such a fun ride. This show's got us hooked with its family drama, big surprises, and heartfelt moments. What's next for these characters? Will they overcome their challenges or face new twists? Grab your snacks and stay tuned, because this story's just heating up. Thanks for watching. See you soon for more Our Unwritten Seoul.